Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another Disney video. It's been a while because I've been really wrapped up in wedding stuff, but now that that's over, I promise a lot more Disney content. Unfortunately, wedding planning kind of takes your life over, so that was just my main focus, especially for the past couple of months. But now I have a whole bunch of great ideas for videos and things I want to make, so I'm really excited to get back into it. So as you guys know, the honeymoon is coming up soon in January, and one of those days we are going to Hong Kong Disneyland because we'll be in Hong Kong for about 2.5 days. So we're dedicating a whole day to it, and I'm really excited for it. I've been doing a lot of my research, been watching a lot of videos, been reading a lot of articles, seeing what I should do, shouldn't do, talking to some friends who have been there, and of course, you know, just as any Disney park, there's a lot to kind of take in and kind of figure out what our plans are going to be for the day and all that good stuff. But there are some things that after reading them and kind of getting to know the parks a little bit, I'm just really excited for. So I wanted to talk about the 5 things that I'm excited for the most in no particular order. This isn't like most excitement to least or vice versa. It's just some things that have really caught my eye and that are very unique to this park as opposed to Disney World and Disneyland, which are the only 2 others I've been to so far. And so yeah, I want to talk a little bit about it, especially for those that don't know Hong Kong Disneyland, kind of introduce you to some of the more interesting ideas and new things they have over there. And for those who have been, I would love to hear your thoughts on what some of the best things are in the parks. But yeah, I'll just get right into it. So the first thing I'm excited about is the MTR, and the MTR is their transit system, not just Disney's, but Hong Kong's as a whole. It's their subway system. It's supposed to be a lot faster, a lot more on time, and a lot nicer than New York's. I mean, to be fair, New York's subway system is over 100 years old, so you know, we can't really make it fancy all the time, but I've been having some woes with how bad it's been working lately, so I'm excited to hop onto that system. But the reason I bring this up specifically to Disney is because obviously Disneyland has its own station, and in fact has its own train that goes to Hong Kong Disneyland. So when you board Disneyland's train, you board at a station called Sunny Bay Station. You have to make this transfer to get on the train for Disney. And Sunny Bay Station is a very futuristic station. As you'd expect from Hong Kong, it's a very forward-thinking city. A lot of their buildings and everything seem very futuristic, and so the train station feels that way. Then you get on a train that is specifically bound for Disneyland, and the cool thing about this train is it is a Disney train. So apparently there are bronze statues of characters sitting in different cars throughout. There's a Donald one, I'm going to find it. The windows are not circles, they are Mickey shaped. It is just all Disney themed, so when you get on that train, you're like pumped and ready to go. You're going to Disneyland. But not only that, when you get to Hong Kong Disneyland Station, it is a Victorian style station. They did this so that you actually feel like you're traveling in time. So you come from Sunny Bay, which is futuristic, almost Tomorrowland-like, and then you're going back to this Victorian era station when you get to the main part of the park. So I'm excited for that experience. You guys know I'm a big like theming junkie. That's a big part of the reason why I love Disney. So I'm excited to get that experience of like that time travel, to get the theming of that Disney train. I think the way that they build up to a lot of their experiences is so awesome. And you know, when you go to Florida, your kind of build up is like the big arch, and you know, Magical Express guys like, yay, we're crossing into Disney World territory, but it's just more stretches of highway. Like, there isn't something as exciting, I think, until you start to like get into the parks. Whereas this is very like, you're on this train, your vacation's starting, you're in it. So I'm really excited to experience that and like vlog all that for you guys. The next part I'm excited for is some of the food. I hear a lot of the food is really good. They do have some throwbacks to stuff that you find in the parks here in America. They have churros, apparently, because how can you not have churros? But there is apparently character-shaped dim sum. So for those who don't know, dim sum, it's kind of like these dumpling things and you put them in this sauce. I'm making a terrible description of what dim sum is, and someone who is actually Chinese is probably like, oh my god, what is she talking about? But anyway, dim sum is almost like these little dumplings, and what they do in Disney is make character-shaped dumplings. Apparently there's one specific restaurant you can go to for like their dim sum platter, and you get, you know, dim sum that looks like, you know, Stitch, that looks like the aliens, that looks like a bunch of different characters, and like literally, I just want to eat cute food. Like, come on, I'm in Hong Kong, I expect cute food. So, might sound like a weird thing, but I'm kind of excited for it because it's so different from what you would get in the parks in the US. I'm sure the food is great in general, but to get that sort of interesting theming with the food, aside from like Mickey waffles, you know, we have that. And they have that there too. But like, I'm really excited to eat some alien dim sum. That sounds really weird. I am also really excited for Mystic Manor. I have been talked up about this ride, so now I have really high expectations. So it better be amazing, you guys. Mystic Manor is, I guess it is most likened to Haunted Mansion. From what I've heard though, it is very different. But people call it like their Haunted Mansion in that it is this like mystical manor. It has this beautiful facade on the outside of this building that's like a haunted mansion. But the story is very, very different. It has nothing to do with ghosts and 999 happy haunts. That is thrown out the window. It is a very different sort of story where your main character is a monkey, which is very exciting for me because I love monkeys. And he is told not to mess with certain things in the manor, but of course he does, and that takes you on this really cool journey. What I think is really interesting about the ride is kind of like what's called a trackless ride, which means that you are one of like a couple of different cars, sort of like Haunted Mansion, but you kind of move within your own way and see the scenes in different areas and like from different locations. I've heard if you are in the first car, that's the best because you really do get to see the full scene. But if you look up trackless rides, there's a few of them around the world. It's supposed to be a very interesting concept of like how your vehicle moves and kind of like does its own thing. And that should be really, really interesting because I've never been on a trackless ride in my entire life. So I'm excited for that, but I also just hear like the story is amazing, the characters are great, the music, the decor. Then apparently you walk out and you want to buy all the things, kind of like Haunted Mansion. Like you just want to buy all the merch because the ride is so great. I've heard it's worth a couple of rides, so I'm super pumped for it. Like I've seen amazing videos and stuff of the outside and it looks amazing. Like I don't want to say it because I've said that Haunted Mansion is like my favorite building or one of my favorite buildings in Disney World. I don't want to say it, but I think this one could beat that, but we'll see. I'll know when I actually get there. But yeah, I mean, people talk about it as if it's one of their best rides in all of their parks, so I hope that the hype isn't too much and that I do really, really enjoy it as much as everyone else does, but I feel like I will. Like I'm really excited about it. I am also excited about stage shows. I've heard that the stage shows in Hong Kong Disneyland are fantastic. Like next level caliber, great stuff. And that's not to say anything about the stage shows that we have here in you know, the US. Aladdin in Disneyland was amazing. I super love Festival of the Lion King. Like don't get me wrong, those are all things that I really love. But I've heard that they are just really, really good there. They have their own Festival of the Lion King that is different from ours. Instead of it being like taking all these different elements and songs from the movie, it's actually a retelling of the movie. So it has all the characters and it has exactly what's happening in the movie. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have a scene where Mufasa dies. I'm probably gonna cry. Sorry, Peter, you're gonna be sitting next to that weirdo crying in the middle of the theater. But I hear it's really, really great. And so it is very different. So it's not to be confused that it's like the same sort of stage show. It's its own thing. And apparently it's really, really cool. There are some elements that are similar. I think they do also still have like that wire dance thing, you know, like the birds scene in Festival of Lion King where they had the woman on the wire. I think they have stuff like that. They have fire dancers, but I hear there's more of them. It's not just the one. So it sounds like there's things that they share, but there are definitely things that are different. The other stage show that I'm really looking forward to is called The Wondrous Book. I think it's supposed to be similar to the one that's in Disneyland. Forgive me, I've only been to Disneyland once. I do not remember the name of it. But it is similar in its idea. but I've been told that just the way that they pull all of these scenes from the different movies together is like seamless. It's great how it cuts from one to the other. I was watching this great vlog of these two guys who went to see it, and one of them walked out and he was like crying. Like he said it was just so amazing how they incorporated so many different movies, and apparently the singers are just amazing. It is part in Cantonese, part in English, so that's gonna be really interesting to see. I always love seeing stuff like that. Like when I travel, I wanna see culture and I want to hear different languages and I want to see how that all pans out, so it'll be really interesting to experience that, but I'm really looking forward to that as well. And lastly, I'm really looking forward to Toy Story Land because I feel like it's going to give a hint towards what Toy Story Land is going to be like in Disney World. Obviously not the same rides or anything like that, but I'm excited to like be in a land that is all Toy Story. I mean, we have very little of that in Pixar Place in Hollywood Studios, but I think like this really is the predecessor of the Toy Story Land that we're gonna have in Disney World. And so I really wanna experience that and then get to go and experience it, you know, Disney World in the summer, and then kind of compare and contrast and see what maybe they copied over or maybe what they did new. I do hear the theming there is really, really cool in Toy Story Land. And I love Toy Story and I would like to see more merchandise and more things like that. So I'm excited for that. And there's my honorable mention. I said 5 things already, but my 6th thing I'm really excited for is merch. Just like new, interesting merch. I can't wait to bring back stuff that I wouldn't be able to get, you know, in the United States. I think that's gonna be so awesome. I'm so psyched. Anyway, those are the things I'm excited for Hong Kong Disneyland. If you have been and you have things that you think I need to check out, I really want to know. So let me know in the comments below. If you haven't been and one of these things sounds most interesting to you, let me know. Let me know the thing that you would love to see in Hong Kong Disneyland if you could go. And what you would also like to see in my vlog, because I'll be vlogging down there. So let me know if there's something specific that you really want me to check out. I will make sure to do it. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, then you should subscribe. I'm always making Disney videos. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Bye.